Having an S&C coach is vital to your physical development and helping you get better at your sport, but not everyone has access to one. So here's 3 things that I would do if you didn't have access to an S&C coach. So the first thing I would do if I didn't have an S&C coach and I was trying to get a bit of a handle on my S&C is try and figure out what I'm good and what I'm not so good at. If you're someone who's got an extensive background in things like plyos, sprints, but you don't have much of a background in like strength training, well, you're going to keep the plyos and the sprints, but you're maybe going to add a little bit more volume into the strength training stuff, and vice versa. If you're someone who's mostly done gym work throughout your kind of sporting career, but you've not really done many plyos, sprints, that type of thing, you want to try and start getting good at them as well. And if you've got a bit of a background in both of them, figure out, are you someone who's fast but not very strong? Or are you someone who's strong but not very fast? You might just be someone who lies in the middle. Figure out which one of these you are and then adapt your programming to suit. The second thing I would do is try and begin to get a bit of an understanding for your schedule and how your body reacts to your schedule. So pick out the things that are important in your week. Straight away, for most people, it's going to be training and games, or if you're in the off season, just training. But also pick out the things during your week that are kind of stressful. So if you know that certain days at work are busier, or certain training days are heavier than other training days, make a note of that in your schedule and figure out where they lie within the week. Then after that, you want to start programming around that. So you want to try and space out your high intensity days, things that are going to be really taxing. So you don't want to have a heavy S&C session on Monday and then you know that Tuesday you're going to have a really heavy training session as well. You want to try and avoid that. So try and get that understanding for your schedule, figure out where you can put things and space them out that makes the most sense, and then from there just continue to adjust it so that anytime your schedule changes or anytime you feel that it's not working as well as it should be, you're able to adjust it, and that'll really help you get the most from your training and from your schedule. That's one of the things that I see athletes not really take into consideration. Other than their game, a lot of the time they will take their game into consideration, but everything else is kind of just, alright, okay, I'll just do my training throughout the weekend, that's just how it is. You really need to try and make the most of the peaks and troughs in your week. So keep your low days low, keep your high days high, and try and have at least 48 hours between your kind of higher days. Thirdly, what I would do is just write your program down. Make sure that you know what you're doing before you go into the gym and you know what you did last week. This is something that when you don't have a coach writing it down for you, makes a massive difference. I've gone through periods where I haven't written my program down before I go in for my session, and the intensity, the drive, the direction from the session is just completely gone. And when you compare it to sessions that you've done where you have had it written down and sessions where you haven't, the difference in what you actually get out of the session is, I actually can't even describe it. It's such a big difference that if you're not writing down your program, or you don't have it down on your phone or down on a bit of paper before you go into the session, I would actually say that you just don't really care about your training. Like, it makes that big a difference. And it doesn't need to be like a big detailed plan. Literally just like the exercises you're going to do, the order you're going to do them in, the sets and reps, and then what weights you use for each of the sets and reps. That is it. And in that way, when you're looking to progressively overload your training, which you should be, it's very easy to see how you can progress it. Right, okay, I did 3 sets of 20 pogos last week, and I've done that for 3 weeks. It's getting a little bit easy, I'm going to up it. Whereas if you don't write it down, you're like, oh, what did I do 3 sets of 20 last week, or was it 3 sets of 16, or did I even do them the week before? Like, it's very hard to, you think you'll remember in the moment, you're like, oh yeah, I'll definitely remember that, but you just don't, you forget, especially as your life starts to get busier and stuff, you do just completely forget what you did the week before if you don't write it down. And never mind 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. So obviously that would be if you're someone who's fast but not very strong, you're doing a little bit more strength training, and vice versa. What this does is it gives you a little bit of direction to your training. You're not just doing a program, you're doing a program that's a little bit more suited to you. And don't get me wrong, a general program is fantastic. It's 90% of what you need to be doing, but just having that little last 10% that kind of tweaks it and focuses it towards you does make a big difference. So that's it. That's the 3 things I wanted to speak about. Obviously there are more, but those for me are the kind of main 3 things. If you are looking to get a coach and you've decided that training by yourself isn't really working anymore, it's not really something you want to do, hit the first link in the description. That'll take you to my Instagram. Just send me a message, we can have a little chat about training and see if coming on board is going to be the right thing for you. Other than that, guys, any questions, just file them in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Cheers.